been like absolutely incredible, and I think one of the hardest things actually was letting it go into the world, but now it's like found its own life, and it's just been really exciting to see like audiences respond and enjoy the trailer and be excited about the film. Yeah.
It's like one of those silly things, like, trailer reaction, but still, like, when it's your movie and you're here at Sundance, it's a thing.
It's crazy, and it's really exciting to see people doing reactions to the trailer, the reaction videos, and like, oh my god, I've made it, Mom.
Have you seen that Bo Burnham where it's like reacting to the reaction to the
reaction?
Oh, I love that.
Amazing. It's insane. It's so good.
I every time anybody does the reaction thing, I'm like, oh god, is this what would come to in life? Or reacting to? Anyway.
So
Let me start with sort of what did you see Ritu do in this that was new, that you got to sort of, that was work with her for your, what did you challenge her with that was new, and how did she surprise you as you
I mean,
went through the process?
Ritu for me is one of the most exciting actors I get to work with, and I've had, the pleasure of having worked with her before, and what I know that she can do is that she's punk, and she's edgy, and she's cool, and so much of this character needs to be that because the younger sister really kind of admires her, and like I feel like Ritu encapsulates that, but also she brought so much shade and texture to the character, and Lena on the page has got a few scenes where you have to get a sense of her quite quickly, and what Ritu was able to do was really fill every moment with constant character nuances, which wasn't there on the page, and she totally brought in rehearsals and then on set. So I just feel like this whole film lives and dies on the sister relationship, and the fact that audiences immediately fall in love with them is a testament to their incredible talent, but also their great chemistry. So I feel like I won the lottery with Ritu. And with Priya. I mean, you guys are incredible.
I almost was in the process of trying to.
We all talk.
And how did you guys develop that chemistry? Was there time to like hang out and chat about favorite or sparring? I guess would be the other thing in this case, or dance offs perhaps.
Actually, all of those things happen in rehearsals, which is pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it was so easy. As soon as we met, we were just became like sisters right away, didn't we? And we had like some rehearsals, but yeah, it was like we didn't have to work hard at that. We met up a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty natural though as well. I think it was just there. It was so easy.
Yeah.
And what was the training like?
Fun, intense, tiring. I guess like for me, I've never done anything like this before. I've never done martial arts training or stunt training, and so it was all so new to me, and I wanted to do as much of it as I possibly could and learn as much of it as I possibly could, because it's so important to the character. Rhea wants to be a stunt woman, and it's kind of meta that I live her dream whilst doing this film, right? So we were just so lucky to have an incredible stunt team behind us, and my double as well, who just consistently supported me and made me feel like I was able to do anything I wanted. They were so empowering. It was amazing.
And for you, it's kind of old hat by this point.
I feel like you were like, give me more.
Yeah, I was a bit. No, it was amazing. Like the fight trainer, Rob Locke, and the choreographer Crispin Layfield were just very encouraging to like add more stuff and like play around, and so we were training, but I had like a few moves that I brought into the rehearsal room that I like wanted to try out, just like from my training with Umbrella Academy. And they were like just super open to it, and I felt like if Lena was a better fighter, it only makes Rhea look better. And she's her older sister, so you sometimes learn from your older siblings, right? So it made sense to kind of like keep like upping the fight until they were like, okay, Ritu, stop. That's enough. We get it.
Hardcore. So you're like, what did you want to do? Like flips and
I was like into like some more intricate stuff. I was like, they were like, she's like a Terminator. I'm like, cool, but also like, I love like the moves where it's like a bit tricky, and they were like, cool, let's do that. And it was dope, really cool.
You're like, and the camera swirls around me here.
No, not that. A little bit.
You came up with the idea, or you had the idea 10 years ago, and you're sort of like thinking about getting it made then. I would imagine the funding structures and Hollywood in general and all that stuff has shifted immensely in that 10 years.
Yes.
Tell me about sort of that, sort of seeing that and what your sort of dreams were 10 years ago and what you sort of saw as that sort of shift has been happening slowly and steadily maybe.
No, I mean, you're right, 10 years ago I wrote the first draft and I was a very inexperienced writer who loved movies. So I think back then the script didn't quite hang together. It was just still I was still finding my voice as a filmmaker but it was also really hard because it got turned down from a lot of places because I think at that time people weren't used to seeing a script that had these kinds of characters, women of color, in an action movie. It was almost like there wasn't, like, we can't compute. But, so I actually had the good fortune of culture shifting and then me being able to bring the script back and, rework it as a more experienced writer, but also, benefit from people like Edgar Wright and Jordan Peele kind of showing that tonal genre mashes are interesting to audiences, and I got to now benefit from that because it's something I love to do. So many things ultimately worked in my favor, even though I was sort of frustrated, 10 years is a while to be pushing it, but actually when I think about it now, I get to make the film being the most experienced and get the sort of backing of incredible filmmakers who've paved the way for me. So I think I won.
Yeah, she won.
Yeah,
she did.
Could you see that sort of tangibly, sort of like when Jordan Peele's success happens, when that you start getting actually maybe we will think about this? Is that?
I think probably what more it was, I was galvanized again, because I think there is moments where I really lost confidence in it because I just thought nobody wants to see this. But then when I saw, Edgar Wright and Jordan Peele making these really interesting genre mixes, I was like, no, I'm going to pitch this again. I'm going to bring this up. And, luckily I got to make a TV show, We Are Lady Parts, where I got to really find how to play with genre and tone. And the success of that helped Polite sort of come back on the table. And it was Tim Bevan at Working Title who's like, okay, this film is bonkers, but just lean in, and really encouraged me to go bolder, go bigger. So, it's been a long process, but I feel like it's the film that I've always wanted it to be. Yeah.
And you were also encouraging her to go bolder and go bigger, it sounds like.
Yes.
When did you first hear about it?
I heard about it, I was actually filming Umbrella season 3. I think it was my last day when we had the meeting. And I think when I knew she was doing a movie and it came through, I was like, I obviously will want to be a part of this. I'm such a huge fan and loved working with her before. So I was like, yes. And then reading the script, I was just blown away. It was crazy, right? And we loved it for that. Super funny and full of action and just something I hadn't read, no one else is really doing, and so, I was just really excited to talk about it. And then I think the first time we actually met was the first time I'd read out the scenes out loud. So I was, naively thought maybe I won't have to audition because we'd worked together, and I was kind of busy with filming. And then you're like, okay, and what scene have you prepared? I'm like, scene 28, of course. But obviously it worked out fine because I'm here now, right?
Yeah, you're here.
Right? Okay. But yeah, no, it was as good on the page that I ever expected, and it just got even better through all the different processes. So just super grateful.
Awesome. Do you get to meet Barbie? Barbie? Or are you in the, you're just joining it?
I can't say much about the movie,
Okay.
but it's gonna be amazing. I had the most incredible time filming, and Greta's awesome. When that call came through, I was like, anything Greta wants me to be a part of, I'm down. So it was just an incredible experience. But yeah, I can't say much about it. Yeah.
What's it like working with your stunt team, your action team when it's such a sort of female-led movie? Are there guys in that team who are I don't know if you guys can do this, or is it everybody's on board and we're all,
No, everybody was let's do it. It was more I brought all these sort of references I wanted. Can I do this move? Can I do this move? Can we break this wall? Can we smash that? And they were like, yes. No, that's going to cost us a lot. We've got a certain budget level. So I felt very empowered, and I got to learn how action scenes are put together, But you know, I know it was very different from me being like, do this, get through that wall, you know, and then you guys actually having to like do the work, whereas I was just the geek behind the camera.
But also, like, they were so cool about everything. Like, I really, really wanted to try stuff. And, like, I know some things are, like, more dangerous, but I was like, can I just, like, give it a go? And they were like, yeah, sure. Like, if you're happy, we can try things and, like, give it a go, and it's fine. Like, and they were so supportive, like, and we're just, like, happy. There was one scene where, like...
Sorry,
it's
it's
like
a musical interlude. I can't ignore this. It wasn't me. It was party that's right next door.
But there's a really cool fight at the beginning of the film, and there's a bit where like she smashes into a wall, and like I was like, I really want to be smashed into the wall, and like just let's do it. And before that, my double had gone and done it, and it was so like impactful. Her footprints were still in the wall after she had like landed, and I was like, no, I want to try it. This looks so cool. And they put the stuff up and they helped me out, and we did it. And I remember Crispin coming up to me afterwards. He was our stunt coordinator, and was like, I don't know very many people that like would do this, but thanks, because this is so fun and we're so happy to accommodate it. And they were just so awesome about the whole thing. It was amazing.
Was there a point or a scene in the movie where you were like, oh, we're making an independent movie? Or you guys had some pretty good financing, but like, was there a scene where it's like, oh, we're doing this sort of like
we're shooting this. I mean, you know, we had a few days where it'd be like the last fight, we've got to finish. You know, we're finishing this location, and they're, you know. I've told this story a few times with Priya, you know, when she's having to do a stunt in the last 5 minutes, I feel like she locks into this, like, I can do anything superhero mode. So there was like a backflip off a wall, and she does it. It's 5 minutes to go. We've got to get, and she's like, we're going to get the shot. And she just becomes like, just enters like this beast mode. And it's always so incredible and like a total shock when she does it, because we were like, did we get the scene? I think we got the scene. So like there were days like that, but like having casts that are like so game to be like, okay, let's get it, what do you need, let's shoot. And we're shooting, we're rolling, we keep moving, we reset. And I think both of them were like so up for it when it was like we were up against it, and understanding the constraints of being a film that is so ambitious but is not, you know, is at a certain budget level. So we want to keep that ambition, and everybody wanted to strive for that. So I felt the full support of everyone, even on those tough days where it's like, we got to get the scene now in 10 seconds.
And for you guys, was there anything where you're like, oh yeah, we're doing this on our own kind of thing?
I think it was just like that sort of time crunch really, with certain things. It's like, okay, let's turn this around, or like, but I think. I mean, even on like higher budget things, I feel like that's been the case too. So I don't know really. Enough, does it? Yeah, I could just keep going. I'm like, wait, let me do it this time. I didn't try this, and it's like, we got it. I'm like, okay, fine, move on.
It also felt like it was like a small team. It felt like an intimacy in the filmmaking that felt like an independent film. Like that somehow, even though it was like focus and working title, something about the family feeling. I think a lot of it, you know, I brought a lot of the team on from We Are Lady Parts, who kind of came through with. So it just felt like I got to step up with all the crew and the cast who I sort of learnt, you know, skilled up with. So in that way, it felt like small and intimate.
I think like those like scenes we had in the house, I think like in between sort of turnover and stuff, that we would just be chilling in the room, and there'd be also tons of us like there, and I think that felt really intimate, and a bit different from like other projects. But wouldn't change any of it. I think it's the best. Such a cool experience.